What's up, everybody? How y'all doing? We are back with some Warhammer 40k Space Marine 2. Vox Liberatis? I think that's how that would be pronounced. So this is the second, I forget what these missions are called. Like what the actual game mode is. But we already played the mission where we defeated the Hive Queen, the Hive Tyrant, or whatever, in the last video, and in this one, this is the squad that went out to, oh, what was it? It was, to take down the Thousand Suns and their, shield or whatever that was going to block the Vox signal. So this was all going on while we were on that last planet.
Our Vox transmissions are not reaching the astropathic relay station. The source of the interference lies in heretic-occupied territory. Locate and destroy whatever is jamming our communications.
See, this is some of my favorite stuff. I love the missions where we get to fight the Thousand Suns, because they're a lot more fun to fight, in my opinion, than the fucking Tyranids.
You will be on your own from here. The Emperor protects.
Although, if I had one complaint... Now, there might be some 40k lore or whatever that connects kind of the Ultramarines and the Thousand Suns. I don't know. I know a little bit of 40k lore, but I don't know a whole hell of a lot. So, you know, there might be some rivalry or connection between the two, because, you know, that's kind of... Just so you know, I finished recording the main storyline. I've got 2 more side missions like this that I still need to knock out, and I'll talk about that in a second, how we're going to handle the mix between that and the main story. So, we'll cover that in a moment. But if I had one complaint, while it makes perfect sense in this game, the story reason, whatever, the main Thousand Sun guy that we're fighting has a connection to the chapter leader, Kargal. Is it Kargal? Something like that. They have a connection, so, you know, it makes perfect sense, you know, in-game, why it's the Thousand Suns. But it's really annoying that we are the, you know, the Boy Scout Blue Marines, and we are fighting the Thousand Suns, whose main color is, a lighter shade of blue. But sometimes when they're standing right next to each other, I completely miss the fact that they're, you know, they're enemies. So I've stood right next to a Chaos Space Marine in this game, and gone, son of a bitch. You know, I'm standing right next to a Chaos Marine, and I didn't even notice. So, you know, I would have maybe liked to fight a Khorne Space Marine, or, you know, some Nurgles, something like that. You know, I'd even take Slaneshi. But yeah, just having to fight the Thousand Suns, it's just the colors hurt my eyes a little bit. So yeah, like I said, I finished recording the main story, which I gotta say, my initial opinions on it. We'll talk more as I see it again and as we get there at the end. Very much enjoyed this game. This game is not anything award-winning. This game is... But the story is nice, simple, and just downright fun. You know, it's just awesome. Which shocks me. That I've been seeing people, apparently... I'm going to guess there were some interviews by some Dragon Age developers who are just like, I don't get why people don't like this game. Because that's what everybody's saying, that the devs are refusing to admit why the game was trash. And I'm sitting here going, well, because you started making it as a multiplayer live service experience, which then people revolted when they heard that, or, you know, nobody would have enjoyed it like that. So then you turned it back into just a regular single-player RPG, but you kept the structure of a live service game, so everything feels overly linear words. Then you threw in all this whole things for the modern audience, So all the dialogue is cringe and dumb. I've seen so many comparison shorts of this is how you write, like, because apparently you also can't be a bad guy in the game. So, you know, it's like, here's dialogue from Baldur's Gate 3 when you can be evil, and here's Dragon Age when you try to be evil. Which, you know, I kind of frustrates me. Although I think a lot of BioWare RPGs are kind of that way. There's no really evil ending. It's like, you know, do you want to be a hard ass or do you want to be a kind Mr. Rogers friendly guy? And, you know, it's just kind of, it's kind of BioWare's. Well, I mean, not KOTOR, but, you know, Mass Effect. And, well, I'm trying to think. I'm trying to remember Dragon Age 2's ending. It's been a while since I played Dragon Age 2. Yeah, I don't think Dragon Age 2, because I never beat the first game. Dragon Age 2, I can't remember how that game ended. I thought that I thought that Meltabomb would roll down the hill. It did not. But yeah, I can't remember how the second game ended, or if it had like an evil ending, quote unquote. Same thing with Inquisition, but yeah, again, I guess it's just not kind of BioWare's thing, but it's a lot of writers' thing nowadays. They write games, and it's kind of the problem with these writers. You know, I've always said I would play a World War II game where you play from the point of view of the Germans. I think that would be interesting. But I don't want any modern writer in video games to make that game, because I think it wouldn't be fun, it wouldn't be gritty and visceral, and, you know, there wouldn't be nuance, there wouldn't be perspective. Not saying that, ooh, there's so much nuance to what the Nazis believed, but it would make them cartoonish. It wouldn't make them characters. It's this view of, oh, we're going to put choice in the game, and it's like, what shade of good do you want to be? Because you can't, because, you know, you can't be a bad guy, you can't be this, you can't be this ist or this phobe or whatever, even though, you know, that, you know, those flaws kind of make good characters. And, you know, I think there is a story that could be told, or, you know, or as a Japanese soldier during W2. I think that there's a game there, that there is a story there that could be very interesting. I get why people probably wouldn't want to make it, but I definitely think there is an interesting story you could tell there. But, well, like I said, man, I think modern writing teams especially couldn't write it. Because, again, they'd be so afraid of upsetting someone that they can't even... I mean, you can't even put a swastika in a World War II game anymore. Now you gotta always use the Iron Cross. I mean, I guess I kind of understand that, because, you know, you want to release the game in Germany. So, meh. But, I mean, come on. Like, we're not children. Like, we understand it's bad, that it's whatever, it's... You know, now that I think about it, though, didn't the World War II Battlefield game include a storyline where you played as a member of a German tank crew? I remember, I think it did. Sorry, I'm getting way off track. No, it's like I said, I just they can't. These writers can't. What's the words I'm looking for? They can't put themselves into the shoes of terrible people, so they can't write these compelling villains. They can't write a main character who's not a good person or a good guy, you know. And when I say a good person or a good guy, I mean, and I'm talking from like the cartoonish perspective of good guy. You know, I also, while I'm talking about the differences between fighting the Tyranids and the Thousand Suns, I also like the executions better on the Thousand Suns. I think they're a lot cooler. So what was I talking about? I was talking about why the writers of Dragon Age Veilguard can't figure out why people don't like the game. well. Yeah, so I saw that. That's where I tangented at one point, and then from that point, how'd I get to that point? Okay, I was talking about the writing in this game and how it's pretty good, how I enjoy it, and where I started was that I finished the game and how we're going to schedule the rest of this one. Boom! I knew I could come back to it. That's the problem when you're like me and you tangent a lot. You can't. Sometimes you got to work back through your train of thought, and it's hard because I'm not that bright all the time. So how this is going to work? The next 2 videos, we are not going to go into the main story. So I think there are 8 or 9. I think there are 8 of these little. I'm going to keep calling them side missions or whatever. There are 8 of them. So we're going to do missions 7 and 8 because those are not connected to the main story. I don't know why they didn't connect those to the story, but they didn't. Maybe it's because, like, the final mission, once you go to the last planet, I mean, it's a long-ass, one continuous mission. It's a good mission, but it's long as shit. You know, so you don't go back to the battle barge and you don't then jump back into, you know, these little more like mission modes, which would have said if you wanted 8 missions, you could have made the story longer or incorporated them into the story or just had the 6 missions. I don't know. Either way, it's weird. So we're going to finish this one. Then we're going to do 2 more that are apparently not connected to any of the main actual campaign as far as I know. And then after that, we're going to start the final mission. We'll do the, you know, do 1 video. Then we'll do the, what the first squad is doing. We'll do the, another story with the main group. Go and see what another one of the side squads is doing. And then we'll finish up with the Titus and his team. So I hope that makes sense. So it's once we start the actual like final mission, I'll kind of alternate videos, which there's only after we knock out or so. But once we start the actual main mission, there'll only be like 2 more side things to knock out. So, like I said, I hope that made sense. I'm trying to present this in a way that makes sense, and that like once we roll credits, we're done. Not roll credits and then we have more to play. I don't like doing that, so I'm kind of uploading things out of recording order.
Gathering supplies. Heresy led you to this end. Changing magazine. Dispensing stims. Ammunition cache here. Using crack grenade. Crack grenade out. Another refresh magazine in. Just dead. Swapping magazine. All specs engaged. Well done, brothers. Only engage when engaged. We have more important tasks ahead. Your miserable life ends in disgrace. All specs primed. Justice for turning against your brothers, traitor. 1,000 Sons Assault Unit sighted. Scarab occult servants defeated.
No, while we're just running around, running around and just, I don't know, chainsaw sorting through 1,000 Suns. I found a new manga series that I've been getting into. I know, ha ha ha. AJ's a weeb. Leave me alone. But what's it called? I think it's called Medalist. Decent art style. You know, it's nice. It's about figure skating. I know. Really, I love sports manga, man. You know, just about any sport. I absolutely adore it. You know, I really wish King Golf got chapters faster.
Fresh magazine in.
Just kind of like how I wish that. Oh my God, what was the name of it? Robot and Laser Beam got ended up going longer. You've never heard of Robot and Laser Beam? It was a manga written by the author of, I believe it was Kuroko no Basket. One of the best basketball manga. I know, everybody's going to tell me, AJ, the best basketball manga is Slam Dunk. It's good. Don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to diss Slam Dunk, but I really like Kuroko. But yeah, the author wrote a golf series called Robot and Laser Beam that I really, 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 really wish was longer.
The Emperor's with the 1,000 Sons shall rule this day.
But yeah, like I was saying, Medalist. It's a really good manga so far. I'm only like 7-8 chapters in, but it's pretty good. You know, pretty meaty chapters. It follows a former figure skater who never really did much with his career, and now he's helping a young girl who wants to, you know, be an Olympic medalist, and she's got talent, but started training late. So they're kind of and she's got confidence issues, all that usual manga stuff. The mountains to climb and whatnot. So this unlikely duo is working to fulfill her dreams and everything. It's well written, good art style, all that.
Codex approved victory.
Though I do gotta say, if I'm talking about art style, so just started watching it was yesterday/today, Golden Kamui. Really enjoy that series. It's got a cool art style.
The arch enemy awaits.
Mix that with it's a really good manga. So They take their time with the anime too. They didn't really try and condense things into multiple seasons and like 12 episodes. It's like 40 some episodes that I think goes pretty much all the way through the series. So
That is the source of disruption.
but for as old as that series is, I figured the manga wouldn't, or the anime wouldn't be as modern as it is. So again, just for anybody, you know, let me drop my limited knowledge of 40k lore on you. When he said the corpse emperor, it's because the emperor is essentially a corpse living on a golden throne that is alive, but they're not. Essentially, if I remember correctly, they're supposed to. He's supposed to come back or something for essentially like the final war. And he's kind of pseudo resting, pseudo, like I said, dead. It's a whole thing. And where the initial the gene seed, you know, the specifically like what makes all Space Marine chapters a little different. Each Space Marine chapter has a Primarch, which is a, you know, the head of the entire Space Marine, you know, that brotherhood. So the Ultramarines have a Primarch. The Iron, what is it? Is it Emperor's Fists? I can't remember. The White Scars, Storm Wolves, all of them. They all have a Primarch. You know, kind of like the first of their order. And the Primarch, I'm trying to remember. I believe was essentially given their powers and given everything by the Emperor. So, you know, they're the Emperor's chosen, they're the first of the Emperor, and for the Ultramarines, it is Guilliman is their Primarch. So that's why the Sons of Guilliman. Now, if I'm somewhat wrong on exactly what the Emperor is, or exactly how the Primarchs relate to the Emperor, because like I said, because the Emperor essentially gave them superpowers, essentially. But then they were also genetically mutated. Oh, fuck off. Giant spooky ghost.
Moment, brothers. Demon host engaging. Be gone from the Imperium's reality, servant of chaos.
You destroyed only flesh, nothing more. I will stalk you all your pitiful days.
We will not stop until all your Felkind are eradicated.
That was a pretty short mission overall. Take a look at the stats here and we'll close out for the video. Yeah, I know victory isn't that wonderful. Show me what we got. That was one of the biggest problems of this game being an online sort of deal, is how you have to put up with all the super long loading screens. Let's see, we won in special kills, melee damage. Of course, even though I play a ranged class, somehow I didn't win ranged damage. Although I guess one of them had a minigun, so a little hard to beat that. But either way, my friends, that'll about do it for this one. We'll pick up here in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. As always, social media down in the description below. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Until then, I'm out.